Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Oh,
it's just going to be pineapple.
Spin the wheel. What the fuck is that? Oh,
Yeah.
what is his wardrobe?
Can we just
Don't
give him
know.
an F now?
No, we gotta hear it.
No,
What?
I just want for the clothes at least.
Oh, for the clothes, yeah.
He's getting an F.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Put it down.
Yeah, that's horrible.
What the
I don't
fuck?
have words.
It's
There's
a face. There's a face in the middle of a weird shape. It's like, what the fuck is that?
I
There
make
is-
all my garments myself.
There's
you know, if it wasn't yellow, I'd think it was Shelob. Looks like a spider.
It almost looks like ancient Roman wall painting.
Scott says Gorgon Peterson.
there's a professional wrestler. His name is Seth Rollins, and whenever he comes out and does his entrance or whatever, he's always wearing some like ridiculous outfit, like purposefully ridiculous. And that's what I feel Jordan Peterson does.
Yeah.
Like he's purposefully ridiculous.
You got to wonder if he owns anything normal.
Exactly.
He,
What kind of clothes does he have?
They're
It's
all
a-
from the Goodwill.
If only he could find like a human costume that didn't look outrageous, but as a cephalopod,
Wear some human
Wearing-
clothes.
yeah, dressed as a
Is he
human.
Vincent D'Onofrio from Men in Black?
Yeah, he's got an Edgar suit on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here, is this better?
Because the
Need
leftists should have been
sugar.
the ones that were most skeptical about the bloody
water.
pharmaceutical companies. And they jumped on the vaccine bandwagon in exactly the same way that you're doing right
Pharmaceutical
now.
companies have helped us tremendously.
Who's
I've
that
seen
guy?
parts of this
Oh
shit.
my god, the other problem.
Who's that guy? I don't know who that guy is.
Are you being serious?
Don't?
Who is
I
it?
don't know.
Are you
I
joking?
really
Are
don't
you
know who he
joking?
is.
Are you taking the piss or are you serious?
I'm not taking the piss. Who the fuck is that guy?
That's Destiny.
Who the fuck is Destiny?
Destiny.
You don't know Destiny?
Destiny is
No.
formerly like one of the biggest political streamers on the left.
I have no idea.
He's been canceled a few times. His latest tryst is Revenge Born.
Should we rate Destiny as well?
No.
No, fuck
I
that
don't
guy.
know.
Dishonorable mention?
Yeah, he's a garbage bag, man. He's also one half of the campaign that's trying to get Hassan Piker deplatformed.
Oh, I see. So he
I
gets
don't
an
know who that
automatic
is
F.
either, but okay.
Yeah. He also just doesn't deserve to be in the rankings.
Fucking
Oh, you know what? I'll put him in
dishonorable mentions.
dishonorable
Dishonorable
mention.
There you go.
He
Well, it's like I actually kind of used to like him, but it's just
yeah. He's
I
a
love the fact
he-
that we're putting him there before we've even watched the video. We don't
He's
no
got-
idea what he's
he's-
doing, and we're putting him there
he-
just based on reputation.
yeah, he's got a track. He's got a resume a mile long.
Listen, there are shit people on the left. There
Yeah.
just are.
And
Yep.
I mean, we're not Democrats anyway at this point. So and he did one of those Jubilee things, like he got to be like the leftist in the middle, and then all the right. So he's like a debate pervert, so he can rattle off facts really fast. You know,
talks a million miles a minute.
yeah, he's like the left Ben Shapiro kind of.
Oh, so this is gonna be like hot garbage the whole time.
Yeah, dude, that's why
Feels
we're
like
like, what the fuck? Because you didn't even know who Destiny was.
Awesome.
Way to fucking sniff out a real stinker.
Awesome.
Right,
This
there
might
we
be
go. Fine.
video of the year. Video of the year.
Golly.
Why is he yelling?
No,
Right-
I don't.
Yeah, let's get some.
He does
Yeah.
get Peterson super rattled in this clip, and I
Does
do
he?
enjoy that. But
companies. And they jumped
Let's
on
see.
the vaccine bandwagon in exactly the same way that you're doing right
Pharmaceutical
now.
companies have helped us tremendously
Yeah,
throughout the
right. There we go. Fine. No,
think modern
I don't
medicine
think
hasn't?
so. No, I don't think
Then
so.
you're just
I
wrong.
think they're
You're
utterly
completely wrong.
I see. So you don't think that the pharmaceutical companies who dominate the advertising landscape with 75% of the funding are corrupt?
I don't. Corrupt is a
Corrupt.
very broad.
No, it's
Do you think that?
targeted.
Do you think that pharmaceutical?
Corrupt
Do you think
with
they?
a tinge of malevolence,
Do you think
willing to extract money out of people by putting their health on the line.
Do you-
That's literally him.
Believe that.
Do you think that we get effective drugs from pharmaceutical companies?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Oh,
You said that so angrily. Not particularly.
I think
I
think that's
don't
going.
know.
I think that's going on the board. That was pretty good. I heard it when you heard it.
Not particularly.
Do you think that we get effective drugs from pharmaceutical companies?
Not particularly.
Got it. Oh shit! Wait,
So do
I did it in reverse. I'm gonna have a really long clip.
Their health on the
What,
line.
what?
You don't believe that?
Do you think that we get effective drugs from pharmaceutical companies?
Not particularly.
Got it.
Okay. Do you think that any vaccines work?
Yes.
Do you think that any?
I
Yes.
don't think 80 of them work at once for babies. I think that's a little risky.
But yet we've been on this vaccine schedule for how many decades,
Like
and babies
this.
don't.
Like this. Not like this. Not carefully.
So
I had a
angry.
ton of vaccines when I was a child. I'm pretty sure that was the norm for people. There were a ton of vaccines you had to
There's
take.
way more now.
Okay. And you think
Well,
that?
and you can understand why. I mean, look, part of it, no doubt, part of
Oh
it
my
is
God.
a consequence of the
hate those chairs.
genuine willingness to
They're
protect
Yeah.
so short.
children. But the moral
Yeah.
hazard is quite clear, and people on the left used to be aware of this.
What do you
know,
make
if
of the
you
fact?
can-
What do you think the mRNA vaccine, the speeding up of it, came from? How do you make for the fact that it was Donald Trump that did
Terror.
warp speed?
Terror,
So you-
foolish panicking, just like we're doing with the climate issue.
So you think Trump
Foolish.
was?
Oh my god.
Oh man, yes, yes.
Oh my god. This is
I am the winner.
this is an eye
What?
roll.
What?
This is an eye roll special. Jeez.
Boomer, go get me a pineapple out of the fridge. Better than this.
Panicking.
Was he in bed with the
Boomer, go get me one out of the garbage out of the neighbors.
pharmaceuticals? Was he working with the left, or was it just a dumb? That was the only panicky thing he made. He didn't try to push for the mass lockdowns like other far left people would have wanted him to do.
Pause.
That was just the one mistake he made.
so because that statement bothered me, the whatever the fuck graph he made there.
Yeah.
In the 40s, there were 4 vaccines that were standard for kids:
Yeah.
smallpox, diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. Anyone want to guess in 2022 how many there are that is
7.
standard regimen?
7, if you might guess.
80.
$1, Bob.
He said
Oh.
80. I'm going with his 80.
80? 14.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's
So
almost
it's-
like this.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Fucking-
more, yeah.
Over 80 years, so he got the 80 right, but it wasn't.
He
for
just
number of
yelled the
vaccines
number at the wrong
at the
spot.
time.
He answered the wrong question.
Continue, he's a piece of shit.
I was confused with my numbers. But you see, I'm correct.
He made was the pushing for the vaccine.
No, I think Trump undoubtedly made all sorts of mistakes, and it certainly wasn't only the left that stampeded toward the forced COVID vaccine.
COVID.
debacle. But it was
I'd
most
like to point out
surprising.
that Peterson has crossed and uncrossed his legs like 5 times now in 2 minutes.
That's because he's on so many drugs.
You can't sit still, man.
His
sit
balls
still.
can't handle it.
Not particularly. To me, that it emerged on the left.
That's great.
Because the left at least had been
There, over and
protected
over again.
against the depredations of gigantic predatory corporations by their skepticism of
I'll be here all night. Try the veal.
the gigantic enterprises that can engage in regulatory capture.
so
and that
gigantic.
just vanished.
Is it not possible that maybe people locally?
Doesn't Graham think this guy sounds like Kermit? He does sound like Kermit.
He does.
Yeah.
He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Jim Henson's illegitimate cousin.
said, hey,
Rubber
if all
ducky.
the governments, all the institutions, all the schools,
That's
all
Ernie.
the private companies across
Oh.
all the countries around the
Yeah.
world are saying the same
Rubber
thing,
ducky.
maybe it is the case
That's
that
Ernie,
this
yeah.
vaccine just helps. Is that not possible?
Oh, sure. Of course it's possible, but that didn't mean it was right.
Well, who's
They
to s-
used
well,
force. They used force.
we use force for all sorts of things in terms of
We
public
don't
health.
generally use force to invade people's bodies.
How long have vaccine mandates been a thing in Canada, the United States, and the entire world?
I don't think they should have been a thing.
That's great
I
if you don't think they
that's
should
a
have been.
violation
We say we
of
don't
the
generally use
policy.
force. We absolutely use force. We use.
Look,
we've
okay,
enforced vaccines for a long time. It's an important part of public
Yes,
health.
fair enough. We did.
Yeah, and also,
Ooh, get him.
we shouldn't force doctors to get vaccines.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to be dealing with all these people with every fucking imaginable disease. Why, as a doctor, should I have to be immune to these diseases?
I want the super whatever.
Hey, I know that I'm about to go station these troops in Africa, but I don't think I should immunize them against any of the diseases that are over there. I'll just let it happen to them.
Did it on a scale and at a rate during the COVID pandemic, so-called pandemic,
Pandemic?
that was unparalleled.
Pandemic.
And the consequence of that was that we injected billions of people with an experimental, it wasn't a bloody vaccine.
Of
Just
course
no,
was
it
a vaccine.
wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It's
What,
not.
because it have a 100% success rate? You think it's a definition of vaccine? The whole point of the vaccine is to give your body a protein
It's
to
not
train on so that your
same
immune system works. in the future.
technology.
Who cares if it's not the same? There's
They
different
used
types
the word
of...
vaccine so that they didn't have to contend with the fact that it wasn't the same technology.
There are different types of vaccines
certainly are,
that are
and
different technologies.
fine.
The mRNA vaccines is a type
This
of
used
vaccine
to be
technology.
vaccines. Now this is vaccines.
No, it was like this, and now it's like this.
No. It was like this, and now it's like this.
Come on, guys.
All right, this is a good fight.
Okay.
You get with this.
Jordan Peterson
or
is
you
right,
with
but you
that.
got to think of the scale as being the universe.
That was a good toss up
There are
here.
different technologies.
Fine.
The mRNA vaccines is a type
This
of
used to
vaccine
be
technology.
vaccines. Now this is vaccines.
No, it was like this, and now it's like this.
No. It was like this, and now it's like this. The mRNA technology.
And these are two intellectual giants out here
Right, they're
who
like,
both have,
No, it's like this, and then it's like this.
and we're talking about maybe like 10 million combined followers for these two.
Oh my god.
10 million. Like,
I-
comment, and subscribe, please and
Right.
thank you.
Die.
Please.
Few of those when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway,
was a radical qualitative leap forward in technology. You can call it a vaccine if you want to, but it bears very little resemblance
You said that
to any
wrong.
vaccine that went before that. And the
meant
reason
quantitative.
it was called a
Yeah.
vaccine was because vaccine was a brand name that had a track record of safety, and shoehorning it in that was one of the ways to make sure that people weren't terrified of the technology. And
I
you
think
know,
the reason
I
it's called a vaccine
understand
is because they're injecting you with something that's inoculating you against something in the future because it has proteins that resemble a virus that infects
there
you,
are
your immune system can
overlaps
train against.
between the mRNA technologies and vaccines, to be sure, but they wouldn't have been put forward with the rate that they were put forward if they weren't a radical new technology. And it's bad in principle to inject billions of people with an untested new technology.
Isn't it
And it's
also bad in principle for billions of people to get infected with a worldwide pandemic that initially was causing a decent number of deaths, a ton of complications, shutting down world economies?
maybe it was. Maybe it was.
So then why have you been yelling?
Yeah, why are
Yeah.
you yelling at me then?
You
Can we
just
get those, like-
conceded the point.
Yeah, he just conceded the whole thing he was mad about.
Yeah.
Then why are we here?
Then why are we still yelling?
In that analysis and figure out, like, if we look at the
We're
side
not
effects of the vaccine-
engaging in the
No,
analysis.
because now we're talking about whether or not
pretending nothing
vaccines are even
happened.
vaccines or not instead.
No, don't play that game. That is not what I was
Don't
doing.
you
I was
play
making
that
a very
game with me,
specific
young man.
interpretation.
I play that
The
game.
mRNA
Wow.
technology, by wide recognition, is
He
an
gave him the finger, boy. Look at that.
Don't you talk to me that way, boy.
Oh, that's a screenshot. That is what that is. He is giving him the don't you.
I think
He's
you
an
should keep
ugly
the
human
specific
being.
and careful in there too. That's a meme.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sheesh. What a winner.
Like,
Chicken
He
dinner.
made Destiny look
Like,
good here, and I don't like Destiny.
he
Yeah.
is. He is. I was going to say that. He is. Like, Destiny doesn't deserve to get
Well-
on the F list for this performance.
Des-
I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be there. I'm just saying for this performance.
Destiny's chaotic evil. So
Yeah.
sometimes chaotic evil characters do good things.
Actually,
He's-
they're
Yeah,
both
for the
they're,
wrong reasons. I
they're
get it.
both chaotic evil.
Yeah, so they're just kind of destroying each other.
and careful case. The mRNA technology,
Like a yo-yo and a blender.
Yeah, it's just
Why
Destiny has the
would-
rhetorical upper hand. That's
Yeah.
that's all that's going on here.
Jordan Peterson ain't gonna fast talk this kid.
recognition, is an extraordinarily novel technology. And
That
you can
doesn't make
call
it not a vaccine, though.
Well, okay, it's a radically transformed form of vaccine. I don't
We
give a
make
damn.
updates,
That still makes it something so new that the potential danger of its mass administration was highly probable to be at least or more dangerous than the thing that it was supposed to protect against. And we
What
are
words
seeing
did you
that
just
in the
say?
excess deaths.
So 100%
So are you
hypothetical possibility of it being more dangerous.
There
Yeah, I
is
get you. Fuck.
there is a 1% chance that it could have turned us all into potatoes. So
Yep.
Yeah.
we shouldn't
I
have
don't
did it.
know, not 1%. There wouldn't be a 1% chance of that.
No,
Yeah, not
because
that-
in his hypothetical, we all took the shot the same day.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
There's
That's
a 1% chance it could have gave us superpowers. Just
and he
saying
didn't
that.
even factor that into it. There's a non-zero chance that we could have all just started flying around this bitch.
True. It's true.
It's true.
Like, none of the excess
Right.
deaths were caused by the vaccines, or
I don't,
it sounds like
I don't bloody well know what they're
That's what you're
caused by.
implying now.
Well, look, if you're going to use Occam's razor, you're kind of stuck in an awkward place here.
I'm
Because you got-
absolutely not stuck in it. This is
Yes.
the most administered vaccine in the or inoculation, or whatever you prefer to call it, in the history of all of mankind. Every single organization around the world is motivated to call this out if it was a bad thing. You don't think Russia or China would be screaming if Donald Trump or the United States warp sped through a vaccine that was having deleterious effects on populations all around the world? You don't think there wouldn't be some academic institution? You didn't think there'd be more than a handful of doctors and Joe Rogan and some conservatives saying this vaccine might have been bad if it was the case that American
Not
companies working
particularly.
with companies in Europe and Germany especially, right? Because that's where biotech is
I thought
from.
that was
and
him for a
everybody
second.
or manufacture a vaccine that was
I thought
causing
he said
excess
it.
deaths all around the world. There are so many different people that we motivated to call this out. How do you explain
We
the
are
fact that
calling it out.
no, it's a handful of people? Where are the governments?
Scott says, "For fuck's sake, slow down." Yeah, like Destiny is like the 1.5 speed crowd. Like that's his normal.
Yeah, he is definitely. He's got that Ben Shapiro pace for sure.
What's his? Jordan Peterson's in deep water right now. He's like,
Yeah,
holy
he
fuck,
is.
this kid is fucking.
I gotta stop talking to people that might be smarter than me, which is
I believe you, but my Tommy gun word salad don't. Blam, 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 blam.
calling it? Where are
It's
the
always
academic institutions calling it? Where are the other private companies calling it out? Wouldn't you stand to make a killing if you were a private company in Europe and you could say, look, the mRNA vaccines for sure are causing all of these issues? Why wouldn't Putin? Why wouldn't Xi Jinping? Why wouldn't anybody else in the world call this out if it was as horrible as it was?
There are plenty of people attempting to call
Nobody
out the-
credible and no huge institution.
What do you make of the excess deaths? You haven't come
What
up with
deaths?
a bloody hypothesis.
I don't even know if there are 20% at the excess deaths in Europe right now. If I had to guess off the top of my head, it's going to be, like you said, one might be lingering effects of an overwhelmed healthcare system. Another one might be deaths related to the war in Ukraine. Another one might be rising energy costs that have
But it's
happened for a couple of
absolutely
reasons.
impossible that any of it could be unintended consequences of a novel technology injected into billions of people.
I think that if excess, first of all, there aren't billions of people in Europe. So if there were
didn't say
excess
there
deaths,
were.
I understand, but you're talking about excess deaths in Europe. I'm not aware of excess deaths that exist in other places that are completely and totally unaccounted for, where the only explanation could be the vaccine. I think if there
Well-
were, I think more people would be talking about it.
Well, first of all, the number of people talking about something is not an indication of the scientific validity of a claim.
I
Quite the
agree with that,
contrary.
but for a
Well, then
vaccine
why
that
are
was-
you using mass consensus as the determinant of what constitutes
Because
truth?
I think for
That's
something,
never been the case.
because I
Look,
Because it would be an indicator to get science looking at it.
I would say that Jordan Peterson is on thin waters there because he uses mass consensus as scientific
time.
validity all the
All the-
fucking time.
All the
Why-
not when it can affect him, Tim.
time. Yeah.
no, you guys are missing it. Why isn't everyone stopping to research his idea?
I mean, yeah, that's
Just
what he wants.
if you just research my idea first, then you can do whatever you want after that.
For argument's sake, Jordan Peterson has 2 degrees. He has a degree. He's got a bachelor's in political science.
Supposedly.
Doesn't make him a doctor. And he has a PhD in psychology.
Aren't they both from a Christian college?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Well, cool.
he was a
Also,
per-
my principal was a hamster too,
Yeah.
and just fucking gave me a diploma.
he was a practicing psychologist. So he knows literally nothing about vaccines.
One Acre Pagan says Jordan Peterson versus Wayne. Oh my god, I would pay to see that.
Hey, One Angry Pagan, don't come at political science. It's a social science, and I have a master's in it. You don't need beakers, I agree, but it's still a science.
No, get the beakers, make it happen.
That's what my wife
Not
said the other day.
particularly.
She's like, you're not a real scientist. You don't use beakers. I'm like, ow.
You don't have a Bunsen burner in the whole house.
think for something.
How
that
do
was
you
limited
light
to
your weed,
billions
Tim?
and billions of people? If this
Professor
was
Honeydew.
something that's having a measurable
He
effect,
eats it.
it would be
He's a chef.
impossible to cover it up or ignore it.
Well,
We
what do
wouldn't
you-
have to look at the one case
right.
brought up on a documentary. We wouldn't have to look at
Wait,
the one.
give me that all right again.
We
What do
wouldn't
you-
have to look at the one case
right.
brought up on a documentary. We wouldn't have to look at the one.
He's so dramatic. remember like the manliness that he's supposed to exude all the time? He's such a little diva every time he
I
gets
know.
into a conversation. So performative.
One thing being talked about.
And what do you, make
but
of the VAERS data?
the
Oh
very
my
More
God.
negative side effects reported from the mRNA vaccines than there were reported for every single vaccine ever created since the dawn of time.
It's totally not
Which
because
is a
it-
total of 8.
there's tons of reports, and you know what all those reports are? Unfucking verified, because you
Right.
assholes went on your podcasts and told people to start calling these fucking places, and they fucking flooded the zone with a bunch of bullshit reports about all these symptoms. Remember when they were going on social media with the shakes, and they were all pretending that they had these
Oh,
tremors?
Yes.
And I was, that's those people. Those people were calling the VAERS network and false reporting shit that was happening to them due to COVID. And it was not happening to them due to COVID because none of it was fucking happening. His podcast is highly responsible for that shit.
Negative side effects reported from the mRNA.
I forget what it's like viral. VAERS is an acronym, but it was like a hotline where if something is going bad with your vaccine, you're supposed to call them and let them know so that there's like a national data bank to kind of like keep track of like where you've been, if you traveled anywhere, which vaccine you got, which brand was it, how long ago, like stuff like that. If you have any other pre-existing conditions, just as a way of tracking things, you're supposed to let them know. These motherfuckers was calling in, like I'm talking about, they normally get like, 150 per year. They had like 20,000 in like
Yeah.
2 months. These people like blew up the whole reporting system.
vaccines than there were reported for every single vaccine ever created since the dawn of time, and not by a small margin. So it's not just the excess deaths.
I agree.
It's the VAERS data.
What is VAERS data?
It's the database that until the COVID-19 pandemic emerged, and we
Yeah, the caption got it wrong. It's VAERS, VAERS, VAE,
Bars.
and then but the thing picked it up as various.
it's the
Oh.
it's not just the excess deaths.
I agree.
It's the VAERS data.
Yeah, it's
Oh, the various
Okay.
data.
Yeah, it's not various. It's
It's so
VAERS.
various.
What is VAERS data?
Yeah, God, I tried to pause on it.
It's the database that until the COVID-19 pandemic emerged, and we had the unfortunate consequence that there were so many side effects being reported.
One angry pagan in chat says, paleontologist here. I take ideas about how evolution works and apply that knowledge to societal, cultural, political evolution. I'll give some leeway to the political science then, Tim. Okay.
That works for me. All I want is political science to not be a joke. That's all I want.
Okay.
You're reaching too
Unfortunately-
high there, Tim.
Unfortunately, our politics make it a joke.
I was about to say, did you watch the headliners earlier today? This place is a joke.
It is.
Trump will be studied for decades and decades if we do have studies in the future. But
We're renaming the network. What a time to be alive.
what a time to be alive.
It was the
Oh, that
gold
should be a show.
standard for determining whether or not vaccines were safe.
That could
And
be
now
a
as
name
soon
for
as it
the
started-
millennial thing.
Oh my God. I just thought of the best sitcom ever.
Oh no.
You go into a coma in 2004 and you wake up 2 months from
this
now.
shit? That's
Yes.
mean.
Oh, it writes itself. The person just running around calling everything gay.
To misbehave on the mRNA.
I think that might actually be good, Tim. I think we might have something there.
We might actually have something there.
And then because then we could show the societal growth that we had up until now. And then that person who just wakes up from the coma has to understand that not only is it not what everyone told them it was going to be, it's worse. It's literally worse.
It's like the Morpheus speech from the Matrix about like they created the Matrix to resemble the height of human evolution, and then like everything went to shit after that point. I
Damn,
feel like
we peaked.
we're past that point. I feel like
we peaked.
peaked in like 2007.
That's some bullshit. I was little. I didn't get to have fun yet.
No, we don't get to have fun.
Fuck.
The fun's over.
Not particularly. Vaccine front, we decided that we were going to doubt the validity of the VAERS reporting system.
Okay, the VAERS
They
reporting
got
system
it right
is the gold
that time.
standard.
There we go.
VAERS reporting is just if you want to report that there is some issue that you have after getting a vaccine. That's it. I think it's
What do you mean
vaccine
that's it?
adverse.
What the hell do you think it was set up for?
To report adverse events
Why?
that happen after a vaccine.
Why?
To track and see if something was related to the vaccine.
Right.
So
Why?
most people didn't even know VAERS existed until after the COVID vaccine. Once people know that it exists, of course more people are going to engage with it. But what happens
So
when
it's
you
all
submit a report?
noise.
No, it could be or couldn't be. So what do you do when a bunch of stuff?
Claudia, first of all,
A part of
you
it
might
is.
begin
When
by suggesting that maybe it's not all noise.
Correct. So when
Especially
all
given
of
the
these
excess
things are
deaths.
admitted to VAERS, what they do is from there they investigate. All you can do, all VAERS is I might go and get a vaccine, and maybe in 3 days I go, I got a headache. I'm gonna go ahead and like call my doctor and make this report, and they'll say, okay, well it's an adverse event after vaccine. Doesn't mean the vaccine caused the headache. And now that more people
I
know
didn't
about
say
this
it
system
meant
than
it.
ever,
I'm
sure,
saying
I'm
that
just
the
saying that
VAERS
VAERS is
system
not
was-
the gold standard of.
Wasn't he just complaining about noise inside the
Yeah.
data?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who knows?
Determining if a vaccine is
Compared to
working or not.
what?
Compared to actual longitudinal, prospective, randomized control trial
You
studies.
mean like the ones they should have done to the goddamn vaccines?
Like the ones that
before-
they did do for
They
the
did.
They continue to do to this day. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
You really
correct.
think that you're in a position to evaluate the scientific credibility of the trials for the vaccines, do you?
No,
Really?
I don't. So I have to trust.
Then what are you
I
doing?
have to do. What
I don't trust
I
them.
have to
I looked
trust
at the bloody
I have
data.
To, first of all, you have to trust third parties to some extent. When you go outside,
I don't have to trust
Of course
third-
you do. You do.
I don't have to trust third parties.
I don't have to trust anyone.
Yeah.
This is the best part of this interview.
Oh
is
my
about what's about to happen, by the way.
Every day, when you turn the keys in your car, you hope your engine doesn't explode. When you're drinking water, you hope that the public water or whatever tap or bottled water you got it out of isn't contaminated or poisoned with cholera.
I don't
when
do
you go-
that as a consequence of consensus.
No, you of course you do.
No, I don't.
Nice shift.
I do that as
Yeah.
a consequence of observing multiple times that when I put the goddamn key in the ignition, the truck started.
Why do you know it's going to start the 50th or the 100th time? Why do you, how
Don't
many times
play
do you wear
Hume
the?
with me. You
I'm
know
not
perfectly
playing
well
Hume.
why.
You don't know if the denim in those jeans isn't leaking into your bloodstream. To some extent, we have to trust third-party institutions to make
Except when they
determination.
use force. How about that?
Especially when they use force. We trust the police officers. We trust the
We
judicial
do, Ed.
systems.
We do. We on the left trust the police, do
to
we?
some extent, do we? If somebody's breaking
That's
into your
why we
house, who do you
defund
call?
them.
I'm not a defunder, but if somebody's breaking into your house, you can be the most defund person in the world. Who are you going to call? Are you going to call your neighbor? Are you going
Fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to call Joe Biden? Are you going to call Obama? Are you going to call the Black Panthers? You're going to call the
Okay,
cops.
so tell me this.
Oh no.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Okay. I sure. Why they cut off there? Who knows?
He had his mouth open. That was funny.
So yeah, let's get into this here. Jordan Peterson, the words that he spoke from his mouth.
Fucking
ugly.
F,
A
dude.
bloody
Yeah,
vaccine.
Just yeah, horrid.
Just so
All the F's, Tim.
He's
Yeah.
just so. If we have any extra in the back, dump them bitches on there.
Boomer, go get me an F out of the back.
Not particularly.
Oh boy.
God, some
Sucking
of
us
his
dry and-
nonsensical sentences
Yeah.
were running rampant from his mouth hole.
I'm pretty sure at points in that video, Jordan Peterson both argued for and against
Vaccines.
various topics.
He argued for and against vaccines in the same argument.
And then he conceded the argument after the 6-minute mark.
Multiple times.
Like the whatever that Destiny guy was doing with the how fast he was talking, it really scrambled Jordan Peterson's brain.
Scrambled eggs up
Yeah.
there.
Like that tactic will work on Jordan Peterson because he's trying to argue against what you're saying, and he's saying it so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets out
Piled
like
up a
three,
bunch of things.
he gets 3 to 4 sentences out to one against
Right.
Peterson. So he's like, "Oh shh, all right, I'm trying to listen, but I'm being overwhelmed." He punches. His punches are so fast.
Yeah,
I can barely see them.
He's like jab, 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 and Jordan Peterson's trying to land a knockout blow, but he just can't catch the guy.
Nope.
Just a wall of punches.
He's trying to respond to the punch that came 3 punches ago.
Right.
It's like if Goku fought Yamcha.
They used to fight
I know.
when he was
alright.
8.
It's like if Super Saiyan Goku fought Yamcha.
It's like
Jordan Peterson's Yamcha.
if it's like if Jun Woo-sung. I was so sad when we didn't get an episode. Ugh, it broke me.
I know.
Maybe that's why I've been off.
Delivery.
F.
F.
He yelled the whole time.
I'm giving him a D so he doesn't win. I'm thumbing on the scale. I don't want him to win.
I liked his delivery at points. He was like angry and indignant for no reason.
He was very dramatic, and I think
was
he should get
funny.
a D for that.
Okay. He was funny by times.
Yeah, he was unintentionally funny with how
Yeah.
over dramatic he was.
He was flipping his arms
both
around
were, though.
all over the little chair, like whoa, whoa.
It wasn't straight up cringy like sometimes it gets when people get
When-
like way too intense. He's just comical.
When he's staring down the barrel of the camera and just talking in his weird voice, lecturing people about how much smarter he is.
Yeah.
That's one style. This is him trying that on a human stenographer's keyboard.
Right.
Like he only talks in partial sentences, so he's just gonna outpace you, dude. It's funny.
We already gave him an F for his dumb jacket.
Yeah.
Agree, K.
Vibes.
Yeah.
F. That's why I gave him a D, so I can give him an F on here.
It might be worth expanding our rating system in future seasons.
Yeah.
Just because
We might
right now
need
it
to
might be
get
too
more.
limited.
Oh, if people are really bad, you know what they should get as a rank?
What?
And I think this deserves the first one. Pineapple.
Ooh, pineapple.
Pineapple.
A, B, C, D, F, pineapple.
Yes. So it goes from S to pineapple.
Okay. So pineapple for vibes?
Pineapple.
Do you guys agree? Well, can I get a second?
Not
Second.
particularly.
God damn it.
I mean, I'll give it to you on vibes. Yeah, I think that.
A P for pineapple.
Tim, tell the pineapple story and why we keep referencing pineapple, because I think we
Okay. Yeah, we've said it too many times. So
it's an inside joke, I think. My bad.
yeah, back in the day, I used to read tarot cards at Renaissance fairs. That's how this starts. We went to this one Renaissance fair in southern Florida, and me and my friends were so like poor because like we were just gypsies at that point. That
Bohemian folk.
after the week we had to stay between the 2 weekends of the fair. So during the week we went to various places. One of them happened to be like a Chinese restaurant that was super cheap, and it was a buffet. So we got food, and I got some of the pineapple out of the buffet. And it was like, those little pineapple chunks that they come out of a can. Yeah. And I went to taste it,
Fresh cut.
fresh cut. And I went to taste it, and I was like, this tastes like alcohol.
Oh,
And
God.
my friend tasted it too. He's like, oh, those pineapples are bad. They are fermenting as we speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Making
And-
liquor.
And so now when we reference bad things, very bad things, that's pineapple. It's fermented pineapple.
Yes.
And that was the last time I ever had pineapple at a Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
Good choice there, Tim.
And S rank is like a video game thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
S
above
rank-
A.
Super.
Yeah.
S rank is top of the top, best of the best.
He gets blobfish grade. Oh, poor blobfish. They don't want to be ugly. They want to be handsome, but they just can't.
Just want to be loved.
So yes,
Want
pineapple will now be a
somebody
score that we can
love.
give out, and I will assign it a numerical value on the spreadsheet.
-1.
-1.
Yeah, but Does that mean we have to go back over other ones that we've done and start
It's
throwing
not.
some pineapples
It's
in
not
there where we were
retroactive.
sure of it?
It's not retroactive.
No?
It starts
Okay.
right now.
Those ratings were PB or PP. No,
BP?
BP. There you go.
BP.
Before
British Petroleum.
Before Peterson.
Before the Peterson pineapple incident.
Oh, the -1's really going to bring down his score.
Oh shit, he's gonna win now. No!
Yeah.
No!
Anyway.
Alright, we do have to retroactively go back. Damn it.
I'll find anything that we've assigned a 0 and give it a negative. It's Jordan Peterson's going to win.
Yeah, he was already the worst. He's just gonna win.
Yes.
I'm so
With the Donald Trumps and
stupid.
the Elon Musks of the world, this fucker still takes the cake.
He's perfectly built to win our game. You know what I mean?
He is.
He's in our 4 categories. He's awful in all 4 of them every time.
He's like the perfectly designed beast that we cannot
Because if you
slay.
think about it, most of the other
He's
ones
Grendel.
dress kind of all right, so they shouldn't get like F's for the way they look. Right? So he's like that jacket. Enough said.
Right. He's like, it's like he's doing it to us.
He knows about us.
It's like he's thrusting his pelvic at us.
Thrusted his pelvic into me to try to provoke me, try to elicit a reaction.
Check out some of our other content. We would love to see what you think about the one on the screen right now.